হ্যালো এভরিওয়ান। দেশ এবং দেশের বাইরে থেকে যারাই আজকে আমাদের এই স্পেশাল শোটা দেখছেন তাদেরকে আমি জানাচ্ছি শুভ সকাল। আজকে আমাদের শোটা একটু ডিফারেন্ট টাইমে আমরা শুরু করেছি, কারণ আমাদের যিনি আজকে গেস্ট উনি খুবই স্পেশাল গেস্ট এবং উনি ভ্যানকুভারে থাকেন। সো তার সাথে আমাদের অ্যাকচুয়ালি সময়ের ব্যবধানটা অনেক বেশি, প্রায় 13 ঘন্টা ব্যবধান। এই জন্য আমরা আজকে সকালে আমাদের শোটা এনেছি। আজকের শোটা স্পেশাল শো এবং এটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি আয়োজন করা হয়েছে প্রজেক্ট মাইন্ড ব্লুমিং এবং ইউনাইটেড অ্যাকশন ফাউন্ডেশনের যৌথ উদ্যোগে। এটাকে অনেকে এনলাইটেনিং শোর একটা পার্ট মনে করতে পারেন, আবার মাইন্ড ব্লুমিং শো মনে করতে পারেন, তবে মাইন্ড ব্লুমিং শো বলেই অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা প্রচার করছি, দ্য মাইন্ড ব্লুমিং শো। সো অ্যাকচুয়ালি যৌথ উদ্যোগে শোটা হয়েছে এবং এটা খুব স্পেশাল একটা শো। আমরা এই শোতে মানুষের ব্যক্তি জীবনের এবং মানুষের দর্শনগত অনেক বিষয় নিয়ে অ্যাকচুয়ালি আলোচনা করবো। আমাদের সাথে যিনি গেস্ট আছেন উনি এই এই ব্যাপারগুলোতে অভিজ্ঞ। তো আশা করি যারা আমাদের শোটা দেখবেন তারা অনেক দিক থেকেই অনেক কিছুতে উপকৃত হবেন। তাই আমি বলবো শোটা শেষ পর্যন্ত দেখতে। ওয়েল, আমি বলে নিয়েছি, টুডে উই হ্যাভ এ ভেরি স্পেশাল গেস্ট উইথ আস। হি ইজ এ রিনাউন্ড অথর and one of the best motivational speakers I have ever talked to. Uh, he wrote a book. He wrote actually several books. One of his most popular books is Me, My Psyche and I. He's none other than Mr. Mehran Dadbeh. I'd like to request Mr. Mehran to get connected with me on the screen. Hello,
Hello,
sir.
hello, Sakif. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Good, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, uh, let me tell you guys how I know Mr. Mehran Dadbeh. Well, 5 years back, I was really devastated and depressed as well. I was a teenager then, and I was searching to get rid of that situation, a way to get rid of that situation. I searched on YouTube and I wrote how to get rid of depression instantly, and a video came on the top of my playlist search list. Maybe that was a 29-minute or 27-minute video. I watched that video. The title of that video was, "If you watch this video, you will get relief from depression instantly." Well, I started watching this, and that video really helped me a lot. To be frank, that video really helped me a lot. Then I decided that I have to talk to this man personally. I have to book a session from him. Then I searched him and I contacted with him and I told him that, sir, I need your help and I want to book a session from you. Then he booked a personal Skype session with me. In the first session, the first thing he told me that, would you please turn on your camera? I was feeling very shy because I was not in that situation to show my face to someone. So I was feeling shy, but at last I turned on my face and the first thing he told me, you look far better in real life than you look in your profile picture. I know I'm not, but at that time I learned how to boost someone's level of confidence instantly. This man made me actually realize that. And then I booked another session with him, maybe after 1 week. That was also a Skype session. And then I told him that I'm from Bangladesh. Do you know my country? Most of the people from Western society say that, well, Bangladesh, a small country beside India, we know that. But he was the only one who told me that, oh, Bangladesh, you produce world's finest tea. You produce the finest tea in the world. And I love to drink tea a lot. So at that time, actually, I learned how to respect other races and the people from other countries. He is Mr. Mehran Dadbeh, and he is with me today. I am really blessed. Thank you so much for coming, sir.
You're quite welcome. My pleasure. With that kind of introduction, I'm now looking around to see how big I am. My head is really big right now. I think I'm very important.
Well, sir, we all know that we are actually passing a very tough time, and Canada, your country, Canada, is also struggling to cope up with this current situation. So how is the days are going during this pandemic?
Did you say how are the things are going in this pandemic here, or what was the final sentence?
How your days are going actually?
Oh, considering the pandemic?
Yes.
Well, in life, nothing is certain. And one thing that we have not learned since childhood is that nothing is certain. We've been given this potion that we should expect certainty in life. And we try to find that certainty. And because we don't find it, because there is no certainty available, we always get disappointed and depressed. But if we expect certainty to be part of life, then we just do our best, because we don't lie down and die when something happens. We just say, okay, what can I do? This is what it is. Let's see what I can make out of it. So my day has been like anybody else's day. I try to do my best what I can to take care of my needs, help others if I can, and do my work if I can, and focus on little things. Don't expect and be disappointed that my plans are now destroyed. I can't continue what I wanted to accomplish. Maybe not. Maybe not now. But focus on accomplishing little things, not big things. The big things may be for future when things become normal. But at this time, focus on little things. Okay, what can I do? Maybe I can go get some tea. Okay. Maybe I can do some biking. Okay. Maybe I learn something, accomplish little things. There are lots of little things you can accomplish. And that lots of little things brings you lots of little happiness. And lots of little happiness is better than a big no happiness. Like
Exactly.
you want to accomplish a big thing, but it's not happening. So you're waiting until a big thing happens, before you become happy, and the big thing may not happen so soon. But lots of little things that you focus on, then you can deal with the pandemic. You can do, maybe you can't go to the gym, maybe, but you can do some push-ups. So you can say, okay, I did some push-ups. So that's better than nothing. So that's how we deal with this in here.
Well, too good. Well, sir, I know that you work for other people's happiness. I know that absolutely. And you help people to get back to a normal life after a long mental stress. Actually, what should be the ultimate stage of happiness we should run for? I know that actually the word happiness varies from person to person, but in general, what should be our ultimate stage of happiness we should run for actually?
One thing, as you said, happiness is different from one person to another person. Maybe if a person is a millionaire, his happiness would be have another car. Maybe if a person doesn't have much money, maybe happiness would be to have another meal. So happiness is different for people. But in general, we should not focus on something that could bring our happiness. We should focus on happiness to become independent of other things. In other words, my happiness, as long as I have reasonable health, my family has reasonable health, because those things are very important. We can't help them. But given that those things are secure, then the happiness should be independent of anything outside of you. It should not depend on the job. It should not depend on the amount of money. It should not depend on a girlfriend you have or a boyfriend that one wants, looking for. It should not depend on things that is not under your control. Then you become a slave of happiness. Then you will always be chasing happiness, because happiness is dependent on if I have that car. I don't have that car, I can't be happy. Happiness is dependent on my new job. I don't have that job, I can't be happy. Happiness is dependent on that girlfriend. I don't have that girl, I can't be. So happiness should become independent of other things. Then it doesn't matter really what it is that makes you happy, as long as it's independent, so it's inside you. You look inwardly, you're honest, you do your best, you try to attend to your duties and responsibilities, you're satisfied with yourself. That's good enough. I'm happy, I'm a good person. That should be the way that you should approach yourself, I believe.
Well, then happiness shouldn't be materialistic, right? We shouldn't focus on materialistic things. We should focus on our inner peace, and we should run for it, right?
You know, happiness, as you said, it depends on different things for different people. Material, it should not be forgotten. Economics should not be forgotten. You still got to work and make money and make provisions for your family, for yourself. That gives you a certain satisfaction. It is the satisfaction of what you accomplish that gives you the happiness, not the actual thing that you make. The fact that I did my best, I made the effort, that should be why you make the happy. So, in other words, you're right. Material should not be the roots of your happiness. The effort you make in order to make things work should be the reason for your happiness.
Well, sir, actually, I know that you actually make people pacified after their breakup, and you work with that pretty well. I know that. So I have experience actually. So actually, from your perspective, after a certain relationship breakup or whatever it is, maybe it is a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, parental relationship breakup, or marital relationship breakup, whatever it is, actually, after a certain relationship breakup, what should be our first attempt to make our own self specified? What should be our first step to make our own self specified?
What should be our first step to make our own what?
Specified. That means our own mind
To be set
exactly, to be set up or something like that. Yes, exactly.
Well, first of all, you should think that it's not the end of the world. That the whole amazing opportunity of life cannot be summed up in one thing, whether one lunch or one dinner or one relationship or one breakup or one woman or one man. The whole experience of life cannot be summed up in one thing. So if a relationship broke up, it's just a relationship broke up. Life didn't break up. You are here and you were the one who made that relationship. Now it's broken up, you're still here. You can make another relationship. So life goes on. The life is like a river. It's a continuous. You can't stop the river just because something thrown into it and hits you. Still river continues. Other things happens in life. You will meet other people, other opportunities. You cannot think that there's only one thing of something in this life. Look at the world. Can you find only one of a certain fruit tree? No, there's always many of it. Can you find only one kind of a rainy day? No, there's many of them. Everything on this planet, there is more than one in it. Many of them. Same thing. You love someone, you like someone. If it doesn't work, there's going to be another one, because that's the world of abundance. You cannot think that it's only this chance, only this, and if it doesn't happen, then I'm dead. No, it doesn't. As long as your heart beats, as long as you can breathe, there will be movements of new happenings that you should be hopeful to. There are always going to be other opportunities. You may not see it, but this is just like you go stand in front of the ocean and you say, I cannot see any ship. So that means there's no ship in the ocean. No. You cannot see as far as the ocean is, but there are ships in part of the ocean that you cannot see. It's not in your field of vision, but it's on its way. You just can't see. And eventually will come to the range and you can see. So things are not going well for you right now. Don't lose hope. Continue, and eventually you will come across the opportunity that you were waiting for.
Now my viewers will understand why I mentioned you as one of the best motivational speakers I have ever talked to. So they will understand. Well, for my audience and viewers, actually the web page, the website, and the YouTube channel of Mr. Mehran Dadbeh has been linked below in the comment section. You can check it out and you can book your session from him at any time. And also you can buy his books. I mentioned that one of his most famous books is Me, My Psyche and I. You can buy that book and hope this will help you to relate your psychological facts and relate your real life facts with others. Relate actually. So you can buy his books. And actually I have an announcement for my audience. So sir, please let me speak in my mother tongue so that they can understand pretty well.
Sure.
Well, দর্শক আজকের শোটা আপনারা আশা করি দেখছেন এবং শেষ পর্যন্ত দেখবেন, অনেক কিছু জানতে পারবেন। মিস্টার মেহরান দাদবে আমাদের সাথে আজকে আছেন এবং একটা বিষয় একটু মেনশন করে নিই, সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের একটা প্রজেক্ট চলছে। আমাদের এই মুহূর্তে ইউনাইটেড অ্যাকশন ফাউন্ডেশনের একটা প্রজেক্ট চলছে। প্রজেক্টটার নাম হচ্ছে প্রজেক্ট স্বাবলম্বী। এখানে আমরা যেটা করতে চাচ্ছি সেটা হচ্ছে আমরা এমন কিছু মানুষকে আইডেন্টিফাই করব যে মানুষগুলোকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি একটু পুশ করলে, একটু সাহায্য করতে পারলে মানুষগুলো অনেক দূরে এগিয়ে যেতে পারবে। এটার জন্য আমরা একজনকে অলরেডি সিলেক্ট করেছি এবং আপনারা আমাদের পেজে দেখতে পারবেন, আমরা তার ভিডিও পোস্ট করেছি। মানুষটা পক্ষাঘাতগ্রস্ত এবং তার এক পা প্রায় কাজ করে না বললেই চলে, তাকে অনেক কষ্ট করে চলতে হয়, তার পরিবার চালাতে খুবই কষ্ট হয়। তো তার কাছে আমরা গিয়েছিলাম যে আমরা আপনার জন্য কি করতে পারি, তখন তিনি আমাদেরকে বলেছেন যে তাকে যদি একটি ভ্যান কিনে দেওয়া সম্ভব হয়, সেটাতে বসে সে সবজি বিক্রি করতে পারবে। সো আশা করি আপনারা এটাতে হেল্প করবেন যেন আমরা এই মানুষটাকে একটা সুন্দর জীবনের দিকে নিয়ে যেতে পারি। এবং আপনাদের কন্ট্রিবিউশনের জন্যই অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা প্রজেক্টটা রান করছি, এবং আপনাদের কন্ট্রিবিউশনের জন্যই, আপনারা কন্ট্রিবিউট করছেন বলেই অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা প্রজেক্টটা সামনের দিকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যেতে পারবো। আশা করি আপনারা কন্ট্রিবিউট করবেন, এবং আপনারা এই প্রজেক্টে কন্ট্রিবিউট করার জন্য নিচে স্ক্রিনে দেখানো নাম্বারে যোগাযোগ করতে পারেন, অথবা যদি কোনো ফার্দার কোয়েরিজ থাকে আপনারা অবশ্যই আমাদের ফেসবুক পেজে নক করতে পারেন বা মেসেজ দিতে পারেন, আমরা অবশ্যই আপনার কোয়েশ্চেনের উত্তর দিব। আমাদের সাথেই থাকবেন অনুষ্ঠানের শেষ পর্যন্ত, দেখতে থাকবেন। সো স্যার, আই এম ব্যাক এগেইন। Well, sir, actually I know that maybe you also know that actually when I called you at that time I was an adolescent kid, and maybe a lot of a huge number of adolescent children faces family crisis like unhealthy relationship between parents and other family members. So actually how can they resist themselves from actually breakdown, that kind of breakdown, family crisis related breakdown, and actually what should be their motive to get up and reach their goals? I mean, actually how can they boost their positive energy in that sense when they're noticing that they have family issues, and that's an unhealthy relationship between their parents or the other family members? How can they motivate their own selves?
So basically you're asking the kind of relationship that it's between family and parents, not between husband and wife or boyfriend girlfriend.
Right, exactly.
About the parents and about their own difficulties in the family, and you want to know how they can bring their spirit up, or how can they deal with it? Is that what you're asking?
Both, actually. How can they deal with it, and how can make their spirit up? Both.
First of all, there has to be a level of trust between the family members and the genuine understanding that they mean well or they mean ill. If a family is healthy, everything they do is trying to bring better environment and situation for their loved ones. They're not working against them. They're just making certain kind of a reaction to something that they feel it's important for the young ones to attend to. Look, parents are always afraid. They are fearful. They are acting from the base of fear because they have had many challenges in their lives and they want better things for their children. So they may say things that could be overprotective, but they're not saying it to stop your happiness or your fun. They're saying it because they love you so much and they're afraid anything that would happen that would not be positive for you. So,
Right.
Number one is to understand that their intention of the parents is positive. They want to protect the children because children have many minds, many things happening in here that they cannot make sense out of it. But the parents have made sense out of it because they had these things themselves and they've been able to somehow sort it out. Now they can become helpful to their children. So if parents sometimes say something that to you looks like they're cramping your style, but in fact to them, they're trying to do their best to protect you. So if they say, don't mingle with these people, or don't smoke cigarette, or don't drink this, or don't do that, it's not because they don't want you to have fun. It's because they know this is not fun. They want you to have something that is really fun and healthy and will help you to become proud of yourself, to build your character, and then to have a good reputation and also be able to have better opportunity in your society. So that's number one, to understand that they mean well. They're not being mean, they just mean well. And then understand that this conflict is normal because every consciousness is put together different. There is no two carpet that is weaved the same way. There is going to be some differences. And these carpets that are done by hands, like your consciousness, different things have entered, different ways have been programmed and conditioned your consciousness, depending on your upbringing, background, and your propensity to accept new things and how you react to them. So each two people have different consciousnesses, which makes them two different personas. And when things are different in consciousness, and you're having a relationship between the two consciousness, not from the physical body, then there are going to be conflicts and divisions. Conflicts and divisions is normal. It's not like end of the world if there's some problem between the family. It just means there are differences. Now let me see what they really mean. How? I remember one of my masters in martial arts years ago from Japan. He came to our university and we had a big, huge convention. And we were training hard. And then he said, somebody asked, I have some differences between me and my family. But I know I'm right. But I don't know if they're right. The master said, both are right. He says, what do you mean? He said, well, example is two friends go to the mountain. They go into the mountain, they separate, and about 5-6 hours later, they come back and they find each other at the bottom of the mountain. So one of them says, so how was the view? He says, the view was this. I could see city, I could see lights. He says, no, the other one. No, the view was like mountain and ocean and lots of trees. He said, no, mountain was. This boy had seen different and this boy had seen different. And so the answer is that they both right, because they were standing on different part of the mountain. From one side of the mountain, he could see the city and the lights. And from the other side, he could only see the ocean or the mountain or the trees. They were both right. The only way to understand each other was for this to come up here and for this to go down here. Then they could see each other's point of view.
Exactly.
So you got to put yourself in the place of your mother or your father, and then you can see what they are looking at. And if they should and could put their place in your place, then they can be more understanding. And the same with their sister and brother and brothers and brothers. They got to be able to switch places, then they can see each other's point of view. Then the conflicts and division would be more manageable. Otherwise, always think, I'm right. No, I'm right. Both right.
Right. Sir, do you agree with that? All the things done by our parents for us are the best things for us. Do you agree with that?
In most part, yes. Depending on if the parents themselves have been thoughtful of this and contemplated on themselves, and they have made advances on their own psyche and their experience in life.
Right.
One thing is for sure, human instinct is like any animal instinct. He will not betray his own children.
Exactly.
If they are actually doing and saying something, maybe they don't say it right, maybe they become harsh, but in their heart, they have good reasons. They mean well. They want to protect that child. They want to give him good direction. So in most part, yes, parents are the most trustable part. There is no one else who could love you unconditional than your parents. Nobody. Everybody wants something. But parents don't want anything. They're just giving. And sometimes maybe they give you a couple of slaps. That's okay.
Well, exactly. I agree with that. A big number of people are commenting below our live, so maybe we should take some comments right now.
Sure.
Let's take some comments. Mohammad Rifat B Nayem said that, where does our self-worth come from?
Well, your self-worth comes from the accomplishments that you make in your life, the goals that you set, and the way you actually approach to accomplish those. It's not the result that gives you the self-worth. So don't look for the fact that I took the exam, I failed, so I have no self-worth. No, it doesn't matter if you fail. It matters if you made the good effort to prepare for it. So the self-worth is in the preparedness, into the effort, not the result. But if you make a good effort, the result will also come. So the self-worth is not out there on the other people's opinion and the image that they will have of you. It's about how you honestly approach life and attend to your responsibilities and duties.
Right. Rifat, maybe you got your answer then. Let's take another comment. Well, Abdullah Ar Rakib said that, what factors do motivate us when we have nothing at all?
The fact that you think you have nothing at all, that's the mistake. Because when your mom and dad decided to have children, there could be a possibility of another 300 million children, but none of them. The sperms did not become successful. You were the only one chosen. You were the only one who could beat all other 300 million children who could be born, and only you. So to begin with, you're given the winning card. To begin with, you're the winner. So don't say that you have nothing. You start with a winning combination, because otherwise, what's more important and more precious than the gift of life itself that you have won already? So you start from there.
Amazing. Well then, if Fajanifa said, please let us know that how can we increase positivity in our mind? Well, if Mr. Mehran is the person who loves to provide this kind of suggestions and who loves to provide this kind of, and actually who loves to discuss this kind of things. I mentioned him as a breakup specialist or relationship specialist. Thank you so much, sir. Go ahead.
You cannot increase. You shouldn't be focusing on increasing positivity, because positivity is already in you. You just have to recognize it. What happens is we're all having the instinct of survival and success in us. But what stops you from it, because you're not focusing on what you already have, which is positivity. You're distracted by the amount of negativity that you focus on. So instead of focusing on to bring in more positivity, you don't need it. It's there. Just focus on not paying attention to the negativity. Automatically, positivity will show itself. Positivity is there, but the negativity is covering it, is distracting you. And the nature of the mind is negative, because the mind is designed to protect you for safety and security. So it's constantly trying to look for trouble. And if you can't find trouble, it makes up something negative to alarm you, to make you heighten attention, to be on guard. Too much of it is not good. So you need to learn how to disregard extra negativities. And naturally, when you disregard them, it's like a curtain you push away, all the positivities are there. Naturally, you don't even have to do anything for them. Just get rid of the negatives. Don't pay attention to them. Recognize they're negative and don't pay attention to them. Positivity will show itself. It's like you go to a Louvre museum in Paris and you look at this painting and you say, I don't like it. Well, all you have to do, you can't disappear it. It's there. All you have to do is don't pay attention to it. You look there, you see another painting is beautiful and gives you hope. And that's how you get positivity happening.
Well, sir, I think maybe you will agree with me or not. Maybe being happy is a process, is a certain process which needs to be gained through practice, right?
Well, everything you do in life creates neuroplasticity in your brain. That means if you want to become good at playing piano, then you practice piano all day long. And when you do that, synaptic neurons create bridges between the two to allow neurotransmitters to pass the information to play good piano to pass, and they bring about ability to put in the synaptic neurons to work to make you good at playing piano. Now, if you don't play piano for a while, that expertise will not be used, and automatically the synaptic neurons that are not being used will be marked with a protein called CQ1, and glial cells at night when you sleep, they go find them and they destroy those bridges between synaptic neurons. So no longer you're going to be good in piano player, which means the more you do of something, the more you become good at it. The more you think negatively, the more you become good at thinking negatively. The more you think positively, the more you become good at thinking positively. And that works with also deleting such behavior, which results in neuroplasticity, which means rewiring your brain. So happiness is also the same. If you practice being happy, seeing positive things, making efforts, that becomes your way of doing life. It's like you become a good pianist. Otherwise, it won't come to you if you don't practice. Show me one thing that it comes to you if you haven't done enough practice. Nothing. So we are creatures of habit. Make happiness your habit. Then you got something.
Exactly. Well, sir, I have to announce that announcement again. So let me speak in my mother tongue again. Well, ধন্যবাদ দর্শক, আশা করি আপনারা শোটা দেখছেন এবং বেশ উপকৃত হচ্ছেন। যে মানুষটা আমার সাথে আছেন উনি আমার দেখা অসম্ভব বড় একজন ফিলোসফার, একজন দার্শনিক। তার সাথে শো করতে পেরে আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি বেশ গর্ববোধ করছি এবং আমি মানুষটার সাথে যথেষ্ট কমফোর্টেবল, কারণ এর আগে আমার সাথে অ্যাকচুয়ালি তার অনেক কথা হয়েছে। সো দর্শকদের উদ্দেশ্যে যেটা বলতে চাচ্ছি সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের এই প্রজেক্টের ব্যাপারে আমি আরেকবার একটু বলে দিই যে আমরা প্রজেক্ট স্বাবলম্বী নিয়ে আপনাদের সাথে আছি। আপনারা আমাদের অফিসিয়াল ফেসবুক পেজে গেলেই দেখতে পারবেন। এখানে আমরা যেটা করব সেটা হচ্ছে পক্ষাঘাতগ্রস্ত কিছু মানুষ এবং এমন কিছু মানুষ অ্যাকচুয়ালি যারা হতে পারে বন্যায় আক্রান্ত, অথবা হতে পারে করোনার কারণে বা করোনাকালীন সময় তারা হয়তো চাকরিচ্যুত হয়েছেন বা তাদের নিজ কর্মস্থান থেকে তারা বিচ্যুত হয়েছেন, এমন কিছু মানুষকে নিয়ে অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা আমাদের প্রজেক্ট স্বাবলম্বীটা শুরু করেছি। একজনের ভিডিও আমাদের এই ফেসবুক পেজে দেয়া আছে, সেখানে আপনারা দেখতে পারবেন যে মানুষটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি পক্ষাঘাতগ্রস্ত, মানুষটা পায়ে ব্যথা পেয়েছে এবং এটার জন্য তার জমি জমা বিক্রি করে তার চিকিৎসা করানোর প্রয়োজন পড়েছে। এখনো সে সুস্থ হতে পারেনি, সে অনেক কষ্ট করে তার সংসার চালাচ্ছে এবং জীবনযাপন করছে। তো আমরা যেটা চাচ্ছি সেটা হচ্ছে আমরা তাকে একটি ভ্যান কিনে দেবো, যে ভ্যানের মাধ্যমে সে সবজি বিক্রি করে তার জীবনটা সে জীবিকা নির্বাহ করতে পারবে এবং এটা তারই চাওয়া আমাদের কাছে। তো আপনাদের সাহায্যেই অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা সেই মানুষটাকে সাহায্য করতে পারবো। আশা করি আপনারা আমাদেরকে সহায়তা করবেন এবং যদি আমাদের এই প্রজেক্টে আপনারা কন্ট্রিবিউট করতে চান তাহলে স্ক্রিনে দেখানো নাম্বারে যোগাযোগ করবেন, অথবা আমাদের অফিসিয়াল ফেসবুক পেজে, ইউনাইটেড অ্যাকশন ফাউন্ডেশনের অফিসিয়াল ফেসবুক পেজে মেসেজ দিলেই হবে। আপনারা জানেন ইউনাইটেড অ্যাকশন ফাউন্ডেশন আপনাদের জন্যই কাজ করে, আমরা মানুষের জন্যই কাজ করি। আপনাদেরকে আমাদের পাশে চাই। Welcome back, sir. Well, we will take more comments definitely, but I have a question to you right now. I have a question that actually we all know that we all have jealousy in us. We all have jealousy in us, but actually whatever the level is, that's not an issue, but we all have jealousy in us in different levels. So actually my question is to you, does jealousy have value in driving?
We have what? I couldn't hear it.
Jealous, being jealous. Exactly. Actually my question is to you that does jealousy have value in driving humans to improve themselves, or is just a negative emotion, just a simple negative emotion?
Very good question. Well, we got to distinguish between jealousy and motivation. Jealousy is a negative emotion, but it can propel you to get better at what you want to do. So you can turn jealousy into a positive emotion. Instead of focusing on what you lack, you just use that as a knowledge that I want to be better at this. But then in the process of becoming better at this, you will automatically forget about jealousy, because you become so involved about becoming really expert at that thing that you want to become better, that no longer you're doing it for jealousy. At the beginning, maybe, okay. Maybe you think that person has a, I don't know, more rich life, so I want to be better at the job and expertise as a scientist. Okay, so I'm going to become more studying harder. So that's kind of a good motivation. But when you're getting that effort to put into the study, you forget about the jealousy, because now you can see, I'm learning good. So I better put my energy on this than the jealousy, because what is jealousy going to give you? All it's going to give you envy. All it's going to tell you is that I don't have that, I don't have that. Then you keep thinking about jealousy. You're then doing your neuroplasticity. You make yourself more and more weak, and angry, and upset, and sad, and depressed. That's not good. Turn that energy, say, okay, that's a reason for me to become better. Not because I want to continue being jealous. And make sure you don't hate the person that is a little bit better than you in something. You just use that energy to become better at what you want to be better. Otherwise, it's a negative energy. Jealousy is a negative energy. Turn that into motivation. Say, okay, that's a good idea. I also want to have a good bicycle, or I want to have a good car. So I'm just going to work harder and motivate myself instead of jealousy. Jealousy is just a negative energy. These are all energies. There is no such thing as jealousy. There is no such thing as jealousy. It's the fact that you compare yourself with somebody else that makes you feel you're jealous about what other person has. Stop comparing yourself with anybody. You will not be jealous about anything. All you can say is, okay, I don't have that. I want it. Okay, that person worked hard or was lucky, got it. Now I'm going to make an effort to have it. So I'm not jealous anymore. I'm just going to strive for getting what I want to get. Changing my energy. That's all.
Maybe we can be jealous, or we should be jealous with our own selves, that well, I have to be a better human being than I am already today. Tomorrow I have to be a better one, and I have to deliver my better version. Maybe this jealousy can be helpful, but I don't have that car, I don't have a red car, I don't have a red pair of shoes, I don't have a gorgeous dress. That shouldn't be our motto, maybe, I think.
Well, you know, there are two ways of thinking in life. You can get up in the morning and keep thinking about the things that you don't have.
Right.
Then that makes you negative and jealous. Or you can get up and think about the things that you don't have and you don't want to have them. Like, I don't have a cold. I don't want to have a cold. I don't have this. I don't want to have this. I don't have this trouble. I don't have this. And then you say, I want to focus on the things that I do have and I love having them. So instead of focusing on the things that you don't have, you focus on the things that you do have. Then suddenly, instead of feeling less, you feel more. So I don't care about if I don't have coffee to drink. I have tea to drink. I'm grateful that I have tea to drink. Simple. Especially if it's coming from Bangladesh.
Well, I'm feeling blessed. Okay. Then maybe we can take some other comments, right?
Yes, of course.
Questions, actually. Yes. Mirjavi said, when can we find the meaning of our life?
Well, you have already found it. Because you're asking this question. That means you are alert that there is higher meaning in life than simply eating and looking for something to have fun. Otherwise, you wouldn't ask this question. So you're already looking for that. So it's not about when. You are in it's a process. The meaning of life is to say, I find the meaning, then there is no reason to live. No, meaning of life is all duration of the life. Throughout this journey of life, the whole thing is meaningful, or at least you're supposed to make it meaningful. Don't waste your time on meaningless things, then the life will always have meaning for you. But always look for something that is meaningless, propaganda or something political or some views, something that is not real. You will be chasing for the meaning. But put the meaningless aside, you will find the meaning of life. The meaning of life is already there. You're born, you're here, you have a role to play. This is jigsaw, you have a special important role in this life just by existing. You have quantumly have changed the direction of other people's destiny. So your meaning of life is by being here is already meaning of life is you. You are the meaning of life. But stay away from the meaningless, you will continue to have meaning in your life. And then, of course, you have plans you want to accomplish. You will find that through the journey. It's not something that you know what to look for. You're supposed to constantly be looking for in this journey. As this journey continues, keep your eyes and ears open. Where can I help? What can I do? What can I learn? How can I become a better person? These are all meaning of life, because when you advance yourself, you are indirectly helping to the universe, the world, the life itself, advance itself, because the life's advancement is dependent on every individual of us advancing. Life and universal energy and universal wisdom cannot advance if you don't advance. So that's why you're so important. For the totality of the wisdom of the universe, of life, you need to do your best to become more aware of life, to become a better person. And as we all do, it helps the intelligence of the universe. So meaning of life for you is you. And for me is also you and me and everybody else. So you're not separate from life. You're part of life. It's not like life is separate than me. I have to find the meaning of life. No, meaning of you is meaning of life, because you're part of life. You make life. All of us are making this life. If you're not here, there is no life. So you are the meaning of life, and you're already here.
Right. Man, maybe actually we are getting, and people are asking constructive questions. So maybe we should run the process for some times more, right? We can continue the process of taking. I think people are asking actually constructive questions. So maybe we can continue the process and we can take some more comments, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes, exactly. Then Fatima Afrin Shammi asked, how can we think positively despite of facing so much negativity and pain?
Well, what choice do you have? If you have a choice, go ahead. Think negatively. Where is it going to take you? How is it going to change your life? Everything has a consequence. If you like the consequence of the negativity, enjoy it, stay with it. But I know you don't, because you're asking this question. So that means, what choice do you have between negativity and positive? What kind of a life do you want? You want a better life? Stick with positive stuff. It's not about how can we think positively. Simply means I have no choice. I am not interested in thinking negatively. Negative thoughts are constantly here in the brain. But you're not the brain, and you're not the thought. So therefore, whatever shows up in your brain is not you. You are the witness to what shows up in the brain. But what shows up in the brain negatively is not you. You're the witness to it. So you're the selector. You're the boss. You choose. This is negative thought, not interested. That's positive thought, interested. You train yourself to always go toward the one that brings you happiness, calmness, safety, security, positivity, and encouragement and motivation. That's how you do it, because you have a choice. It's not like the negative is there, so I have to choose it. No, you're the boss, not the thought. You're not thoughts. Thought is not you. You're not the brain. Brain is not you. You're the boss. You select. So if it's negative, I don't select. Positive, I select. That's how.
Exactly. So Fatima Afrin Shammi, hope you got your answer. Then the next comment. Mohammad Mazharul Islam said, how can we motivate ourselves more effectively through reinforcement?
Through reinforcement? You mean you reinforcing to motivate yourself? Is that what you mean? Well, in that case, you translate what you gain, what it means to your life to do something. For example, if you don't translate your work, the meaning of your work, the result of your work, to the quality of your life, you will not be motivated to do a good job. But when you translate that, when I do this work, I will do a good job, customers will be happy, company will be happy, I make money, and the money puts food on my table. I'll have money to pay the rent. My family would be happier. I'm more comfortable. I can put my hand in my pocket, have some money in it. So when you translate, and that brings comfort and security to me, and that will motivate you because you translated the result of your efforts to your life. But if you just think, how can I motivate myself? You can't be motivated until you have a picture of what this means to your life if I do it, if I achieve it. If you don't have that picture, you won't be motivated. So create the picture of how your life will be because of this effort, and then you will be pulled like a catapult towards that picture. So create that vision that how will I be living if I accomplish that task or that plan or that project, and see the effect of that, the difference it makes in your life. When you see that, you will like it, say, yes, that's where I want to be. Then you will be motivated. Otherwise, if you don't give reality to the vision, if you don't give picture to the vision, if you can't see yourself and translate that vision to what your life will be, you will not feel what that would mean, and you will not be motivated. When you change it and see how your life can change, if you accomplish certain things, you will be motivated and you will go. Because what? Because the most important person in life for you is you, nobody else. First, it's you. So if you can see the change that it can make in your dreams, in your life, in your lifestyle, in your capabilities, that will motivate you. So see yourself in the new picture, and then follow that picture to become one with that picture.
Exactly. Well, today I'm taking more comments than I usually take in my show, because I believe that my audience and viewers actually loves more to hear from Mehran than they loves to hear from me. So that I am taking more questions and I'm taking more comments. Well, let's take another comment. Shanu Hossain said that the show is being informative. Could you tell me what is the biggest waste of human potential according to your opinion? Thanks.
What is the biggest waste of human potential?
Potential, right.
Believing your thoughts.
Okay.
If you understand that the thoughts are the roots of all troubles, and if you understand not to fall in the pitfall of thoughts of the brain, not to believe what pops up into your brain, the only thought that is worthwhile is the thought that you purposely make. In other words, you go into your consciousness, you get some information from consciousness, then you use it to calculate something, to design something, to learn something, to figure out something, to accomplish something, to contribute something to the society. These are the thoughts that are your thoughts. Everything else that happens in your brain, it's not you, it's not thoughts. Don't be fooled. And if you don't be bundled and boggled by believing your thoughts, then you have lots of energy and potential to spend it on whatever it is you want to accomplish. But if you believe that you are thoughts, then the thought has its own mandate, because the brain is a machine that makes thoughts. And 80, 90,000 thoughts a day is made. And most of them are nonsense. So you should not waste your time to focus on what the brain and what thoughts shows up, but focus on what you choose to follow. And plus that brings negativity, negative energy. So you should simply focus on what you can accomplish in life rather than what you don't have. Pretty much jealousy, bad energy, negativity, negative mind, these are all the things that waste the human potential. Anything that distracts you from achieving your goal, these are energies that I talk about.
One last question. Adiba Mehrin Saba said, I'm enjoying it. I want to know from you, by what standards we should judge ourselves?
You judge yourself by the standards of what kind of a role model I am to children, what kind of accomplishments I have made to contribute to the society, well-being of the society. How have I been conducting myself that has been beneficial to my family, myself, and my society? How focused I am in administering my job as best as I can, whatever industry it is that I'm working. How helpful I am to other human beings, because these are all independent of other people. It's all about you. And that's how you can judge yourself, because then you will elevate yourself in a higher level of psyche, and you will be proud of yourself, and you will find your values through your accomplishments and interaction with the society. And that is what makes you feel valuable, not the opinion of other people. Who are they? How have they lived their lives? I don't know, but you can know how you have been living your life. Honest, accountable, responsible. And that is how you judge yourself, based on your accomplishments and your contribution and what kind of role model you are in life for others and for yourself.
Well, Adi Mamirin Saba, hope you got your answer. Well, maybe I have to take some more questions, because if I do not take the questions, people will kill me after the show because they have a lot of questions for you. So maybe, thank you so much, sir. So maybe we can take some more questions next. Well, Mahamuda Kona said that when we experience any dream, is it a phase of our inner mind? Because sometimes dreams are out of our imagination.
Not necessarily, no. There are some dreams that, okay, we don't know really where it's coming from. For example, there was a few nights ago, or was it a few weeks ago, I was busy with work and had no thoughts of any sort about my father, who passed in 2011. But my father came to my dream. I can't explain that. But most of the dreams, other than this kind, it's got nothing to do with your inner mind. It has to do with what you've been thinking all day long. Because when you keep putting that kind of a mentality or occupation of certain subject through the day, all the time you're thinking about it, when you sleep, the ripples of the mind becomes very quiet. And when it becomes quiet, whatever has been reflecting on it becomes right on top and continues its reflection as it's been continuing all through the day. And then you dream about it. It's not like it's a deity or something amazing. I dreamt of it. No, you've been thinking about oranges all day. You're going to dream about oranges. There used to be a time that I played lots of chess. The first thing I would do when I would open my eyes, I would play chess with the computer right beside my bed. The last thing I would do, I would be playing a blitz chess. So at nights, when I was sleeping, I would dream of the openings and the mid game and the end game and the horses and the bishop. It's a normal behavior of the brain. The more you think of something, the more you program it to think about that, to become automatic. That even, have you not noticed when you're preparing for examination in the school, you study so much all day long, all night, for weeks, and you pretty much dream about calculations, calculus, mathematics, something that you've been reading. You can dream about it because constantly you've been with that thought process. So it's really dreams. Sometimes it could have some meaning, which it's interesting, but most often it's just reflection of what you've been occupied all through the day. So that's why it's important for you not to occupy your day with negative thoughts, because then you sleep upset, you dream, and you get up sad and depressed because you slept with the bad thoughts. So always before you want to sleep, go in front of the mirror, look at yourself, smile to yourself, and put your finger like this and say to the mirror, I love you, you're a good person. Then sleep. You rewire your mentality that way night after night.
That's what self-hypnosis should be. Right, exactly, sir. Well, Mahmoud, I hope you got your answer. Then one last comment we're taking here. One last comment. Adrit Hossain. Well, thanks United Action Foundation, Mesbahul Islam, and Dadbeh. My question is to Mr. Dadbeh. Is there any way to measure someone's love? Thanks for asking, Adil Hussain.
Is there any way to measure someone's love? Why do you want to measure someone's love? That's ego. That's selfishness. You measure your love. Why do you want to measure someone else's love? Because it is their ability, capability to give. It's like saying, how can I value someone's gift? It's a gift. Why do you want to value it? How much it worth? It worth a lot. Why? Because that's all that person had enough money to buy. That's all he could do or she could do. So you appreciate it. You don't measure it. You measure love because you become egoistic, that you want to see how much I worth. If you have enough value for yourself, then you don't seek to know how much the love worth, because that is indication of how much I worth. But once you already know that you're valuable because of your contribution, because of the love that you give, because you do whatever it is the best you can, then you have your values. Now you don't care about how much that gift costs. You don't want to know how much that gift costs because it's a gift. I appreciate it, whatever it costs. Maybe he had only $2 and he bought something for $2, but that's all he had. That's all he could afford. So importance of it is in the gift, not how much it worth. So don't look for how much love is measured, just the fact that the love is being given. You focus on how much you can give. You can't question how much the other person can give. You don't know what's going in their lives. You don't know what's going in their brains. But having said that, you will measure love through time. And you can see through the unselfishness that the other side is putting forward and the kind of attention. And also, you got to be reasonable. Don't expect that their love to jeopardize the responsibility they have toward themselves and how they can accomplish their own life. Don't become selfish to say they should sacrifice themselves for my well-being, and then that means they really have love. No, whatever love they give you, that's good. And through time, you will see if it's continuous. One big measure for knowing if the measure love is to see not the abundance and the strength of it in one small moment, see the continuation of it, consistency of it. Always there's a little trickle of love coming. That's much better than a big gift or big love or big attention and then not stable, not a solid foundation, oscillating up and down, up and down, up and down. So consistency and the communication and compatibility is what you're looking for. That's, I think, the best I can put.
Messages appreciating comments. So let's take some comments of appreciation. Abdullah said, "You are right, Mr. Dadbeh." Maybe it's out of the screen. Can I see the comment again?
Yes, I did see it. I didn't see the last comment.
Well, maybe.
Thank you.
Yes, you're right. Mr. Dadbeh is actually a gift beyond measure. Exactly. That's why he is in this show today. Thank you so much. Mohammad Akona said that thanks a lot, Dadbeh. Thank you so much, Mohammad Akona, for watching us. Then maybe well, keep up it. Okay, well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching us, and thank you so much for your appreciation, Roxana Shati. Then Rakibul Hassan Rakib said that good to see you guys. Thank you so much, Rakibul Hassan Rakib. Stay blessed here. Then Azhar Rakib said, greetings from Bangladesh, sir. Mehran Dadbeh, good to see you. Thank you so much, Azhar Rakib. And Mehran sir is actually reading your comment. Then Abdullah Ar Rakib, it's our pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, Abdullah Ar Rakib. Yes, it's really our pleasure to have Mr. Mehran Dadbeh in our show. Actually, I'm blessed. Said Mahdi Hossain said that good morning, sir, from Bangladesh. It's a great pleasure to have you in United Action Foundation. Thank you so much, Said Mahdi Hossain. Thank you for watching the show. Actually, we're blessed. Well, actually, we are in the last portion of our show, so we have to come to an end. Before that, Mehran sir, I have a question to you that actually not question, actually suggestion I want to take from you. Actually, our country, actually most of the population of our country are young people, young generation, and so energetic they are. So, do you have any suggestion for them? How can they actually, how actually they can make their life beautiful? How actually they can be successful enough to lead a happy life? How can be the happy, whatever it is? Do you have any suggestion for them?
You know, I will tell you a little joke before I answer this question. Yeah?
Sure.
Nazaruddin was a philosopher of 1,000 years ago. And Nazaruddin was a pretty smart and wise man. He would travel around the country with his camel driver. He was on the camel, and the camel driver was pulling the camel, going around different cities, and he would give a speech to people in that city, in that village. And he was very wise, and people would appreciate it. And then he would go one city, and then the next city, and then the next city, and 10 cities, 10 nights they went. And 11th night, they were camping outside of the next city that they was going to speak next morning. So they were sleeping there. And the camel driver told Nazaruddin. Nazaruddin was a Turkish philosopher. And camel driver told Nazaruddin, I said, you know what? What you speak of is very easy. I can do the same thing. Of course, he's been listening to Nazaruddin for 10 nights, the same speech. Now he has memorized it like a what is it, parrot. So Nazaruddin says, well, that's very easy. Next city, they don't know me. So we're going to switch places. I'll become the camel driver, and you sit on the camel, you become Nazaruddin, and you go and give the speech. The camel driver says, no problem. So next morning, they get up and they switch, and they enter the city. In the city, the mayor came, and they had placed a big place in the middle of the town, and people gathered, and Nazaruddin acting as a camel driver now, holding the camel, and the camel driver now acting as Nazaruddin goes on top of the podium. And the camel driver gives a speech just as good as Nazaruddin, because he's been listening to it 11 nights, 10 nights.
Right.
Until it became the question and answer period. Somebody asked the question, and he didn't know the answer, of course, because he was not a philosopher. So he looked at it and says, you know what? This question is so easy that even my camel driver can answer that. So he said, come here and answer the question. So this question is so difficult. I'm also looking for my camel driver right now, because that question is a very potent question. But I think happiness is in loyalty, is in doing things for other people. If I bring one glass of water to myself, I may be happy. But if I bring a glass of water to my child, I will be much happier. So you must find a reason in your life that you will dedicate your efforts to bring comfort for that particular reason, goal, person, children, family, parents, wife, husband, whatever it is. You got to find loyalty. If there is no loyalty, there is no happiness. So dedicate your efforts toward making other people happy, other people comfortable. Then you will be blessed with lots of happiness all through your life, and then you will put your energy in the right place. Try to make yourself a better person, pretty much. And that starts with caring about other people.
Thank you so much, sir, for your suggestion. Thank you so much, actually, for giving us your valuable time. And I am really grateful to you. And I am feeling lucky that I could bring you in my show as a guest. So hope to see you again. And I promise that if I ever come to Canada, then I will bring a bag full of tea for you from Bangladesh. I promise. As a gift. Well, I know that
Thank
you'll
you
have to
very
go
much
to
for
LA.
inviting me here. It was a pleasure. I hope that it was helpful to people who would be interested to be here. And thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Stay blessed. Hope to see you soon.
Okay.
Stay blessed, England.
Okay, sure.
Thank you so much for coming. অ্যাকচুয়ালি আজকে শোটা খুবই এনজয় করেছেন। আজকে শোটা খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট ভ্যালুয়েবল একটা শো ছিল, যেখানে আমরা চেষ্টা করেছি আপনাদের মনের কথাগুলোর উত্তর জানার, অনেক ফিলোসফিক্যাল দিক থেকে, দর্শনগত দিক থেকে জানার। এবং যে মানুষটা আজকে আমাদের অতিথি ছিলেন, সেই মানুষটা অসম্ভব জ্ঞানী একজন মানুষ। উনি বেশ কিছু বই লিখেছেন এবং উনি একজন মোটিভেশনাল স্পিকার। আমি শুরুতে বলে নিয়েছি, আমি এমন খুব কম মানুষের সাথেই কথা বলেছি যারা উনার থেকে ভালো মোটিভেশনাল স্পিকার। উনি অসম্ভব ভালো একজন মোটিভেশনাল স্পিকার, এবং আমি আজকে ওনাকে আমার গেস্ট হিসেবে আনতে পেরে আমি খুবই খুশি হয়েছি। আমি 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 অ্যাকচুয়ালি গর্ববোধ করছি। অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ দর্শক আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য, এত লম্বা সময় নিয়ে থাকার জন্য। আমি শেষ পর্যায়ে আরেকবার একটু বলে নিই আমাদের প্রজেক্ট স্বাবলম্বীর কথা, যে প্রজেক্ট অ্যাকচুয়ালি এখন চলছে, এবং এখানে আমরা একজন পক্ষাঘাতগ্রস্ত মানুষকে নিয়ে এসেছি। তার জীবনের যেই কষ্ট বা দুঃখ, সেগুলো একটু হলেও নিবারণ করার চেষ্টা আমরা করছি, এবং সেটা অবশ্যই আপনাদের সহায়তায়। আপনারা যদি কন্ট্রিবিউট করেন, তাহলে এই মানুষটাকে আমরা একটা ভ্যান কিনে দিতে পারবো, এবং সেটার মাধ্যমে হয়তো সে ভবিষ্যতে স্বাবলম্বী হতে পারবে এবং সে তার জীবিকা নির্বাহ করতে পারবে। আপনারা যে কোনো ধরনের সাহায্য করার জন্য বা কন্ট্রিবিউট করার জন্য আমাদের সাথে স্ক্রিনে দেখানো নাম্বারে যোগাযোগ করতে পারেন, অথবা ব্যক্তিগতভাবে আমাদেরকে আপনারা মেসেজ করতে পারেন। আমরা অবশ্যই আপনাদের মেসেজে রিপ্লাই দিব। অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ লম্বা সময় নিয়ে আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য এবং আমাদের এই শো দেখার জন্য। সবাই অনেক ভালো থাকবেন, অনেক সুস্থ থাকবেন। আমি মেজবাহুল ইসলাম সাকিব আপনাদেরকে বিদায় নিচ্ছি।